Do you find you have shoulder pain, whether it's sitting at your desk, driving around, or working out in the gym? Well, by the end of this video, you'll know how to reduce or even how to prevent your shoulder pain. So make sure you keep watching so you can learn the 3 exercises that will help keep you pain-free. So before we get into it, if you want to skip all the boring stuff and go straight to the 3 exercises at the end, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go right to them. First exercise we're doing is for your deep cervical flexors and your... So this first exercise we're doing is working 2 muscles simultaneously. It's working our deep cervical flexors and our shoulder external rotators, and specifically our infraspinatus, which is on top of your scapula here, and your deep cervical flexors are more superficial muscles along your cervical spine. So we're working these 2 because typically these muscles are very underactive when it comes to people with neck pain or shoulder issues, as well as the external rotators, specifically our infraspinatus, is usually pretty weak. So in this exercise, all you need is a resistance band, just a light one, nothing too heavy, because for this exercise the rep range is fairly high, so we don't want to overload or use muscles that we don't want to be using to do the movement. So to do the movement, here in the video, you see that the elbows are shifted forwards. Now this is due to sometimes the posterior deltoids will be overactive and can take over for infraspinatus. So because of this, we bring the elbows forwards. Then the next thing, we're going to make sure we're a couple inches away from the wall. We're going to tuck the chin and then try and drive the head straight back into the wall. So these 2 things are happening all at once. Tuck the chin, bring the head straight into the wall, elbows forwards, and externally rotate the arms. So exercise number 2, we are working serratus anterior. This muscle upwardly rotates your scapula and also posterior tips your scapula. Also, as well, it protracts your shoulder. So with this muscle, I commonly find with clients it's fairly weak, whether they have neck pain or shoulder pain. So this exercise, we're going to be strengthening our serratus anterior. Now with this, it's fairly simple. All you have to do is lay on the floor with knees bent. We're going to make sure our shoulders are retracted and pulled down, so depress your scapula. Mainly a good way to make sure you're doing this is just pin your shoulders back and down onto the floor and make sure they don't move from there. Then we're going to keep the head back on the floor, arms at your side with the thumbs up. Then we're going to bring your hands up and over your head and get them as close as you can to the floor. Make sure when you're bringing your arms up, the shoulders aren't coming off the floor and you're not shrugging upwards. So exercise number 3, we're going to be working our lower traps. And to do that, we're going to be doing the Y raise. So the reason we're working our lower traps is because typically with people with shoulder pain, they have weak lower traps because their upper traps tend to be taking over, which help to elevate the scapula. So everything's kind of up this way. We're trying to move it back down in a more comfortable, stable position. So let's see what this exercise looks like. We're going to be doing this exercise standing up. The first thing we're going to do is retract the shoulders and depress the scapula. So we're bringing the shoulders back and down. We're going to keep the arms straight with the thumbs pointing forwards. And we're going to bring the arms up over your head or up as far as you can. Now the thing you want to watch out for is that when you're bringing the arms up, you don't end up shrugging your shoulders upwards or bending your arms. Also, when you're bringing the arms back down, you don't want to let the shoulders drop back down. So the whole time we're trying to keep the shoulders back and down while bringing your arms up and down. So now that we know what these exercises look like and what to do, we need to make sure we're doing the proper sets, reps, and tempo for the exercises. Now, these exercises are more of a rehab exercise, so they're not the same as your typical bench press or bicep curl. So they're going to be performed a little bit differently. So in terms of sets for each exercise, we're going to stay between 1 or 2 sets. So I'd stay at the start, when you're just trying it out, start with 1 set and see how that goes. The next thing is our reps. We're going to try and stay in the higher rep range. So we're going to be in the 12 to 20 rep range. Now this may seem like a lot, but we are using a very light weight and we're really just focusing on activating the muscle. The next thing is the tempo. This I find is the hardest for most people because it's very slow compared to what they're used to. So here we have a 4-2-2 tempo or a 4-0-2 tempo. Now these are eccentric, isometric, concentric. So if we're doing, let's say, a shoulder press, the concentric is pushing the weight, isometric is holding the weight, and then eccentric is letting the weight down. So in terms of the Y raise, it's the concentric is bringing the arms up, isometric is holding at the top, eccentric is bringing the arm back down. So with this, the bringing the arm back down portion, the eccentric, is the slowest portion of the movement. So this is going to be 4 seconds, hold at the top for 2 seconds, and then take 2 seconds to bring the arms back up. Alternatively, if it becomes very difficult just to hold the arms in the position, we can do a 4-0-2 tempo. So we're going to take 2 seconds of contracting the muscle, no hold at the top, and then 4 seconds to bring the arms back down, or the eccentric of the movement. So with all these, if you do these 3 exercises within these set reps and tempo, you should over time start feeling less pain in your shoulders. Or if you haven't had shoulder pain before, doing these 3 exercises within this rep range here will help keep you pain-free. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you find it helped you, leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you'd like to see more topics like this, more informational stuff, leave me a comment and let me know. Make sure before you leave, hit that subscribe button below. I really appreciate it. See you next time.